Hey, really excited about this video series today. We are going to talk about how to engage successfully with Walt Disney World in terms of a visit. If you want to go to Walt Disney World, you almost have to have a college degree these days because things have become so complicated. So, depending on when the last time you visited the park, this can be pre-COVID, it could be the last 2 years. There's a lot of stuff that has changed. A lot of stuff has remained the same, but a lot of stuff that's really changed. So what I decided to do was just to kind of break it down in series of how to engage from where to stay, ticketing in terms of going to parts and how much that costs, and then get into the more complicated discussion about Genie Plus and Lightning Lanes and how the recent change to Genie Plus and the multipass impacts your visit. Here's what you don't want to do. You do not want to engage at Walt Disney World like you're going to Six Flags. This will be a very disappointing trip for you, a very expensive and disappointing trip for you and your family, and we don't want that. So over the next 3 to maybe 5 videos, we're going to break it down. I don't want to do it all in one because it's going to be too complicated. So we'll break it down in segments because you may know some of this. Some of it is intuitive. Surfing over Walt Disney World's reservation site to get tickets and to get rooms is relatively intuitive. It gets more complicated as you get into ticket purchasing and understanding Lightning Lane. So we're going to save that to the last. So let's jump over to the site. Let's start off today. Let's just take a look and see how do we book our rooms if we want to stay on property. So the first thing you want to do is to go to Disney.com. We're already there, and you want to establish an account. Now, I'm already signed in, but I'm going to sign out just so you kind of see what this looks like. I'm going to sign in, but you want to make sure that you create an account for you and for your family. So you go to Disney.com and you just simply hit, my computer's going really slow. You just simply go here to log in or to create an account. And because I already have an account, I go down here, I pop in my information and then my password information, and I'm into the site. Okay. So it's important that you have an account because all of your stuff, your rooms, your tickets, your lightning lanes, whatever you decide to get during your trip, it can be concisely compacted into just your account. If you decide to buy anything, you can, tag your credit card, the whole 9 yards. We're going to talk about it. First things first, we see here at the top, we're talking about, park pass tickets, places to stay, things to do, and of course, shopping. Let's just start off at the beginning. What are your dates? Do you know what your dates are? Sometimes different dates can mean different prices for entry of the park. It depends on the occupancy level of the park, how busy the parks are. The busier the parks are, maybe the more expensive your ticket's going to be, and vice versa. Here, let's take a look. We just click on this calendar, and I like to go around my birthday weekend, which is right before Thanksgiving. So I pulled in some dates here, November 20th through the 24th, and I've got down just 2 people, and I don't have a particular place I want to stay. Let's say, for example, you knew where you wanted to stay. You just click this down arrow, and you can go through the hotels here. But let's say this is your first time, or you just really don't want, you haven't made a decision on where you want to stay. You just want to see a price comparison. Just leave it where it says all resort hotels, and you simply hit view rates. What it's going to do is just bring up all of the hotels and their potential rates for that time period. So here you have the check-in date, the check-out date, the number of adults, okay? And everything else hasn't really even been filtered. So it starts off in alphabetical order. It tells you all about these different hotels. You can go through, and however you want to decide that, you want to pick your resort, it's up to you. Most people, of course, take a look at this column, which is the pricing. If you run across this, it's going to say this resort is unavailable. So it tells you where you have capacity. Here, it's going to provide your price. And if there's no capacity for that date, maybe you want to go back and change your date, or maybe you just keep scrolling through until you find a place that you want to stay. Now, let's say, for example, sorry, I'm kind of speeding through this kind of quickly, but let's say you want to stay at the All-Star Resort. All right, so let's click on All-Star Resort. It's 186 a night on average. Let's see what sort of description comes up. It's going to give you sort of a, overview of the room. And it's going to ask you if you're a Florida resident, for example. Why? Because you can get certain discounts if you're a Florida resident. So if you're a Florida resident, you want to make sure you take advantage of that. Going to also ask you, are you just looking for a room or you want a package? Okay. Most of the time, people who are going and are going to the parks. If you're going to stay on property, most of the time people are also going to the park. So what do people pick most of the time, in my opinion? They pick package, because you can include your room and you can include your tickets in one single package. Okay. Obviously, though, if you, for whatever reason, are not going to go to the parks, you can just select room only. And what's going to happen is you're only going to get the rate for the room per night. Okay. Now, you need to understand this doesn't entitle you to enter in the park. This is only your room. It's a very good chance that you just want to go to All Stars and hang out for the weekend and you're just going to hang by the pool. Okay, fine. No park tickets are needed, so you would take this route. But let's assume you're going to go to the park. So let's click on package. As we click on package, it's going to bring up an itinerary, for example, of what we want to do. Do we want to do a standard room or do we want to do a preferred room? Let's go for now with a standard room. Are you sure this is what you want? Yep. Bam. Now, if any time during this process you get confused or you have a question, I want you to look right over here to the right. Once this comes up, there's a chat feature here. You can just click on this chat feature and you can ask a Disney cast member whatever question you have, whatever question you may have at any given time. But just so you know, that's a very useful tool. So let's lower that for now. In the olden days, meaning the last 3 years, right around COVID, park pass reservations were a requirement for everyone to enter the park. What is a park pass reservation? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's click on this link and it's going to take us over and tell us what a park pass reservation is. It's really just what it sounds like. You needed to reserve your space in the park for that day. If you recall, one of the constrictions of COVID was that Disney was confined with only having a certain occupancy level within the park. So the only way they could know and estimate that was by reservation. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've been to the parks, post, pre, and COVID and all this other stuff. It just seems like there was always a lot of people in the park to me. But anyway, let's take a look at this. You can go here to check the reservation availability. But go down here. I want to show you something. Theme park reservation requirements. See, this has recently changed. Theme park reservations are no longer required for date-based tickets. So if you're just going to particular dates, just like we are, you don't even have to have this. Okay, you don't have to have this. Now, what types of reservations do require this? Well, here you go. Tickets that require a theme park reservation are right here. And this may be you. So you want to go here, click on this link here, and it'll say, okay, tickets that require a theme park reservation are as follows. These are the ones who don't require a reservation. This is us. We're just doing a date-based one ticket, for example, or we're just doing a multi-day ticket, for example. We don't need a theme park reservation. But what if we were a group or Florida resident discount Disney ticket person, military salute ticket, annual pass holders know this very well, and any other tickets that are not mentioned above. So if you're not in this group of 4, date-based multi, 4-park magic or 3-day 3-park ticket, then you would require a reservation. Now, what does that look like in terms of reservation? If you just simply go here to where it says park ticket availability, it's going to take you to a calendar. So we're going to click on this. And what this initially was set up for was to tell you, the park goer, if your day that you desire to go is available. Now, how would you know if it's available? Well, if it's green. So we chose November 11th, I think, through the 20th. No, we chose the 18th or the 20th through the 24th. It doesn't matter. The whole month of November is green. So let's say, for example, it showed yellow and it showed or gray. It would tell you which parts were available at that time. Doesn't matter at this point, everything's green, so we got a green light. I just wanted to explain to you what that terminology was. So let's go back to where we were. We're going to close out there. So here's where we are. We chose our dates and we're going to go down to the number of days that we want to go to the park. Now, we're going to be in town for those 4 days. Maybe you only want to go to the park 2 days and you want to do something else the other 2 days. You don't have to click for 4 total days. So the number of days that you're going to be there doesn't have to equal the number of days that you're going to be in the parks. Maybe you will only do 2 parks, so you'll click on 2 of the days. All right, so instead of going for 1 day, we're just going to go for 2 days. Okay, we're going to get enough passes for 2 days, so you click on 2. Or if you want to go all 4 days, you click on the 4. It's up to you. And this is a subtotal, an estimate of what that cost would be based on your property and based on the number of people that you've identified that will be in attendance. Remember, we only said 2 adults for these 4 days. That's what that estimate is based on. All right, so let's go down. We're going to do all 4 days. And here is the ticket type breakout. So you have a base ticket, which is 1 park per day, no park hopping. If you're going to go to Magic Kingdom, you're only going to be in Magic Kingdom for that day. If you're going to go to Epcot, you're only going to be in Epcot for that day. Okay. And now let's say if you wanted to do a park hopper, you go down here and click park hopper. This is in addition to what you would pay, $101 per ticket. So your ticket costs $100, you add an extra 101 and now it becomes a park hopper. This includes the same day admission to all 4 theme parks. So here's how a park hopper works in case this is your first time hearing that. You decide that you want to go to Walt Disney World, but you're only going to be there 2 days. You're going to buy, let's say you buy 2 park hopper options. This gives you ability to go to any park in those 2 days. Any park in those 2 days. Now, you may start off at Magic Kingdom and end your day at Hollywood Studios. Doesn't matter. Your ticket allows you access and you can jump, i.e. park hopper, from park to park. All right? That's what that is. Here, water park options and sports options. This includes a 1-day pass per day, plus visit to the water park, and then, of course, the Park Hopper Plus option. Park Hopper Plus option is kind of like everything's included. It includes the same day admission to all 4 theme parks, plus if you wanted to go to a water park or other fun, other meaning like the sports option, the ESPN zone and things like that. Let's click here and look at the details. It gives you an outline of what this option is, so you're not confused. So here are the options that you have. Within this option, you can enjoy the same day admission to all 4 theme parks. Here they got them listed here on your day of your visit. Plus, you can get a certain number of visits to other Walt Disney World fun-based tickets. Here's an example. Disney Blizzard Beach could be in there, Typhoon Lagoon, ESPN Wide World of Sports, etc. But take a look at these options, and if these are anything that you think you would want to engage in, maybe that is a good ticket option for you and your family. We're going to stay with the base ticket for now. Let's skip on down, and we're going to hit continue. We'll hit continue, and what will happen is we'll go over now because we've already selected our hotel at the All-Star, and then we selected our base rate or our base ticket at 4 days, and it's going to ask us about what do we want to eat. Do you want to take part in the dining plan? Well, what is the dining plan? Here are quick snippets on what each dining plan offers. The Disney Quick Service Dining, which is what it sounds like, is a quick service. It's not really a table meal. It's like a grab and go sort of situation. Or the Disney Dining Plan, which includes 1 table service, a quick service meal, a snack, non-alcoholic drink, a resort refillable mug, which a lot of people seem to love. And then plus you can redeem your meals for special dining experiences such as these character dinings and things like that. You don't get that in the quick service dining plan. Quick service dining plan, you get 2 quick service meals. These are not table service meals. This is not your Cinderella Castle. This is not, a sit down situation. You do get a snack and you also get that refillable mug that we talked about, but there's no special character dining experiences. Now, there's only about, I don't know, $250 difference in the price. If those things mean something to you, for $250 extra, I would pay for the Disney dining plan. I've never gone to the park with the Disney dining plan. It's just not how we visit Disney World. We usually buy food on property, or we just kind of a little bit more spontaneous while we're in the parks. So here's the option. You can select one of these if you want to add it to your total, to your package. Let's say, for example, you decide you want to select the quick service dining plan. And now remind yourself that this is going to be with you for the entirety of your stay. This Disney dining plan, if you're going to be in the parks 4 days, you can use it that 4 days. You can only get those options once a day, but you'll have it all 4 days that you're there. All right, so let's look at this. Here is our overview. So we're going to be staying at the Disney All-Star Sports Resort in a standard room. We decided to get a 4-day ticket admission, 1 part per day for 4 days, but 1 part per day. And we also enrolled in the quick service dining plan. That's everything we included. Now, here's some extras. Do you want Memory Maker? Well, what is Memory Maker? Memory Maker is when you're in the parks and the Disney photo photographers are taking professional shots of you and your family. That can be included on your Magic Band or in your account, your My Disney Experience account, so that you can have those memories when you go back home. And you don't have to worry about, taking all the pictures yourself. That's Memory Maker. Ground transportation. Do you need ground transportation? If so, you can add it here as well. And then travel plan protection. Being a travel person and a travel agent, I always advise people to get the travel protection. Why? You never know what is going to happen, and you may have to delay, reschedule, or even cancel your vacation, your trip. Now, none of us like to do that, but the thing that can make a cancellation worse is that you don't get refunded on the things you've already booked. Okay, so here's what I'd suggest you do. Read through this fine detail in terms of trip cancellation and insurance. Here it says, if your trip is delayed, reimbursements related expenses up to $600, $200 a day. Trip cancellation or interruption. You can get up to total trip costs of the prepaid or unused or non-refundable travel arrangements due to illness or injury or non-medical reasons such as job loss or military service or things like that. You just never know what's going to happen. Read through those details. I always suggest people to get the travel insurance. Now, you click on this button here. Yes, I like to add it at $190. That covers everyone. And you just hit done. All right, so this is going to take us back to our summary screen. Again, it starts from our hotel, go all the way down our tickets, our dining. We didn't add the Memory Maker. We didn't do the ground. We did add the insurance. And here's where we are as a total. We've got a balance due of $24.81. What's due today? What's due today to secure our vacation, our trip, is only $390. Only $390. Our total, though, is $2,871. Okay? Just as easy as that. Just as easy as that. Now, in order for us to secure this, we hit continue, and this is going to take us to a checkout screen. This is no different than any other checkout platform that you've seen probably. You're going to have to enter your information here. I'm not obviously going to book this. I'm just taking you through the process. But this is the final screen you'll see before you put in your credit card information and you actually pay for it. This is going to ask you for your name. You can see my name is here, and it's going to ask me for who else do I want to go on my trip. Well, you see all these names that popped up when I hit that down arrow. Because I'm already logged into my account, it knows my family because we've traveled to Disney before. So if I say I'm going with my wife, I'm just going to click her name, and she and I will be the guests that are on the docket at this point. It's asking for a title. So, okay, it was Mrs. Bennett. All right. So it's asking, would you like to make any room requests? No, we don't have any room requests at this point. It says delivery and contact information. Where should we send your magic bands or anything that we're going to be sending out to you as a guest? You hit next. We got to put our phone number in. We hit next. Here's our travel plan, our travel protection plan. Would you like to add the travel? We've already done that. And we hit next, and bam, you're all the way down to a completed selection. Okay. Once you put your information in, your credit card information here, you're done. You booked your room, you've secured your tickets, and you have your travel. Oh, also, I forgot we did our dining, and we have our travel protection. All of that was done in 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and you can do it in less time than that. Now, the only thing that probably would take more time is if you want to suss out, a few more of the hotels, if you want to add dinner reservations at any of the restaurants that are on site. All you would have to do is go back, which is what we're going to do now. We're going to come out of this. We're going to go all the way back to the home screen if it lets me do it. Let's see if it lets me do it. So let's hit back. And let's see if I can get all the way back to the home screen. There we go. All right, so it's going to take us all the way back to the home screen. And if you want to include dining, or if you just want to include dining, you could just go here to say things to do, and there's dining. Okay, we're going to cover dining on our next episode. So right now, we talked about how to do a room and book your tickets. That should get you from now to our next video. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't subscribed, I hope this was helpful to you. Go ahead and subscribe. Maybe share this with someone who you know is going to Walt Disney World soon. Thanks a lot.